Hello. We're giving you a little fireside advice and answering some of your questions. The first question is from Steve Webb, and he asks, have you any unreleased songs or demos left over from any of your albums?
No. No. Do we? No, we didn't. Yeah, it should be done. That's a lie. We did actually. We had quite a few songs left over, and we thought maybe they'd be possible B-sides for singles, but after a few weeks of being away from them and then listening to them again, sort of, you know, a couple of months later, we realised that they really were crap, and they had absolutely no redeeming features about them, any of them whatsoever. So they got binned.
Yeah, it was disappointing, wasn't it? The hope that when you got them out again in the fresh light of day with a bit of distance,
yeah, something,
they'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be some genius in them.
But
it wasn't.
They were just shit. That was a good reason why they got put away. Do you still enjoy playing and hearing your older music?
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, there's some songs I get kind of a bit bored of, but generally I actually like playing the older stuff more now than I did, you know, when it was newer, just because there's more variation now, and when we do gigs there's more contrast. I suppose I'm talking about, you know, playing live, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I sit down and listen to the music.
No, I never sit down and listen to it, although I sometimes remind myself of how something goes or what it felt like. Sometimes it's quite good to refresh your memory before doing a gig, maybe.
Yeah, but not just for sort of enjoyment or narcissistic pleasure.
That would be perverts.
Stuart Patience wants to know, how old are you? I heard you were 37, but that is impossible. I thought late 20s. I mean, you have no cellulite on the legs of yours.
Flippin' heck! What's his name? Stuart. You'd never ask a lady how old she is. It's very rude.
Rude.
And, yes, I'm only 24.
I'm Jay from Wolverhampton.
Are you?
I'm Jay from Wolverhampton. Okay. Having watched you on many television shows just recently, you came across as being quite a quiet person. How do you feel about being in the public eye?
I am quite a quiet person. I'm quiet, very quiet. And how do I feel? Well, being in the public, I don't mind being in the public eye. I suppose as you can see, I'm not very good at talking particularly. I suppose it's one thing, isn't it, making music and performing on stage, and that, I suppose that's something that's taken me a while to get really comfortable with, being on stage, and I really love being on stage and performing. But it's such a different thing to talking in public, I think. They're quite different things. You know, I don't have a problem with it, really. I suppose I don't always find it easy talking about work, or, you know, I don't find that so easy.
No. Do you think there's a pressure to be a sort of bubbly, loud sort of person?
Yeah, sort of animated, and I'm not. My animation is in the art.
Well, this is it. It should speak for itself, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Are you being recognised a bit now on the street and stuff?
Yeah, it's funny, I got asked in the supermarket in Bath, actually. Someone came around the corner and sort of tapped me on the shoulder as I was sort of leaning over to buy my takeaway curry, and they went, "Oh, you don't look anything like you do in the photos," which kind of pissed me off a bit, because, you know, I'm in Waitrose buying my shopping. I'm hardly going to be wearing, you know, 9-inch heels and.
That's right, with the PA.
Yeah. mobile disco with me, do you know what I mean? So I did feel like saying, fuck off.
This comes from Gary Anderson. Having seen your great live show recently, I have a sneaking feeling that not all is as it appears.
Oh.
Do you mime any parts? Or are all the people on stage playing what they seem to be playing? I know you must be using sequenced or pre-recorded backings for drums and so on.
No, we don't mime anything, but sometimes, because there's so many different sounds and stuff, quite often people on stage will be triggering samples from keyboards and things like that, so none of it's mimed, but yeah, there are sort of pre-recorded sounds sometimes on keyboards or on the drum pad. So Rowan, who plays the drums, for instance, he has live drums, and then he also has the little kit which he'll hit and it will trigger certain drum sounds and stuff like that.
If we wanted to do it completely in a way as it was recorded, then you'd need an army of musicians, maybe 30 strong. And we haven't got the budget for it, Gary. But all the important parts are very much live, like the singing, for example, all of that. So it may sound so perfect that you can't tell. That's what I'm sort of hoping you're thinking. Of all the venues you and the band have performed in so far, which one is the most favourite and why?
Ooh, I really like the Astoria, actually. It's not a very big gig, but I just really like the layout of it and the sound. It's got a good atmosphere to it. I don't know why. I don't know what makes some venues have a better atmosphere than others. I don't know why, but I really like the Astoria. Usually old theatres have the best kind of atmosphere to them. But I mean, ultimately, it's the audience that make a gig, so, you know, ultimately it doesn't really matter where you are. If the audience is really great, then, you know.
Could be in a football stadium or a hole in the ground. This is from Seizo, sorry. What would your kind of fantasy best venue be?
Ooh.
Anywhere in the world that you haven't played? I don't know. Ice cave? Underwater? The Marianas Trench? I dreamt the other night that I heard you covering Sparks's Never Turn Your Back on Mother Earth. Was this a premonition, or am I living in another planet?
I think you're living on another planet. I don't know. I like the Sparks, but I don't know that song, actually. Do you know that song?
I do, I think, yeah. Vaguely got a recollection of it, but it's quite a good song. I think it's hard covering songs that are... It's almost like an iconic song, isn't it? It's hard to... I mean, unless you're paying homage. But in a way, that's not a good enough reason to cover a song, I think. It's better to cover it if you think you can bring something new to it.
There's a question here from Chris Brown. And he says, I've read that Alison writes all of Goldfrapp's lyrics. Is Will responsible for writing the music, or do you collaborate on this?
Well, the simple answer is we collaborate on the music, and
you should know that by now,
yeah.
Dear fans.
It's a joint effort, the music, very much. In fact, it's almost frustrating because sometimes it would be useful if one of us could get on with the music while the other one's doing something else. Well, you know what I mean? It's sort of, but actually we just both have to be there for that to happen. And that's just how it is. But the lyrics, you do write all the lyrics.
Pretty much, yeah. Will tells me whether they're crap or not.
Well, they're usually very good.
Well. This is from Stephen Green. who came to the Brixton Academy show on the 9th of February. And he said things didn't seem to go quite as planned during parts of the show, i.e. second mic not working, technician visibly scrambling to clear some other backdrop during one of the songs, which caused you to raise your arms in alarm with your back turned to the audience, having to stop one song because you could not hear anything in the monitor to the words, "I'm sorry, but I can't hear a fucking thing."
He was paying attention, this man.
And he was, and he also went to the Perth gig, which sort of towards the end of the gig, the fire alarm went off. And we had to evacuate the building. Actually, somebody thought that we'd done it on purpose, but we didn't do it on purpose at all. I want things to be right. I don't know if that makes me a perfectionist or not, but I want things to be right. And if something isn't, then I suppose, yeah, the main thing is that it can just be really off-putting. Like that, for instance. Oh, bloody hell. Dragon and Nirvana from Serbia, who came to the Exit Festival in 2004 and really enjoyed it. Anyway, we're expecting to play here again, so is there a chance? We know it's not just up to you, but it would be great to listen to you play the new stuff. Peace and Love, Dragon and Nirvana, was very nice. Yeah, we loved doing that gig. That was quite a mad festival, and yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that, and yeah, we'd love to come out there again.
Shani and Karen wanted to know if you were in the shower and needed a wee, would you go in the shower?
I'd wee in the shower for definite. If it was a bath, I wouldn't. That is a bit sort of...
That's not really the point of a bath, is it?
Slightly...
It's just sit in dirt.
Yeah, but a shower, yeah, no, well, yeah, totally runs away, doesn't it? I'm not going to get out, just go to the loo.
Have you ever been on the loo and needed to go to the shower?
Yeah, I have actually. It's probably best not to go into detail. Melissa Stadden, what would we be doing if we weren't in the music business? I don't know. It's such a hard thing to answer, isn't it? Because I really don't know. Do you know?
No, I can't do anything much else. I once worked in a shop trying to sell suits. That lasted a week.
Yeah, every job I've ever had's only lasted a week. I've always got the sack, or I can't really do anything else. No.
What did you want to be when you were a child?
When I was a child, I wanted to be a detective and an opera singer. And it kind of changed weekly, really, but it's basically revolved around a detective or an opera singer. I spent a lot of time going around the garden with a magnifying glass and singing at the top of my head. And collecting things in matchboxes and things like that.
Maybe we could write an opera which involved a detective.
Fucking hell. Adrian's King is asking us what record would we put on, or what record should he put on, in fact, to relax. When he comes home from work, he wants to put something on, make him relax. What should he put on?
And make him happy again, is that what you said?
Yeah, you know, he's come home from work, he's wound up, he wants to relax and feel good about life again. What should he put on his stereo?
I think he could do a lot worse than play himself.
Beg your pardon?
Some Morricone.
Oh, I thought he said play with himself.
Well, that's an option.
Play some Morricone with himself?
Yeah. His bad self.
What, any particular Morricone?
Most of it's pretty good.
Do you think does it make you feel happy though?
Well, it does make me feel happy. A lot of it is very over-sentimental and saccharine and sugary, but it starts to make your teeth itch after a bit, but...
I reckon Pet Sounds, the...
Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys, that's kind of happy because it's so kind of well, it's just so happy and sort of slightly doolally and a bit, yeah, sort of reminds me of sunny days on the beach.